I wish you could see how precarious this camera is right now. Hold your breath or it's going to crash, but before it does that, fingers crossed. Today I just wanted to say first thank you for all the awesome feedback that you gave me in the last video. And in this video, I'm going to keep the theme up a little bit in that I just want to talk a little bit about how finding your YouTube style is really similar to finding your traveling or nomadic lifestyle. Because I still think there's more than one, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Not because you care about YouTube, but because there is no one-size-fits-all. My name is Jill. This is Road Culture Rules. We're going to ask you to take a deep breath, inhale for 4, hold, exhale for 4, and see you on the other side. You can't see what you're chasing. So I actually had a plan for this great video today, but it was only supposed to have mild wind. As usual, the hurricane and tornado force wind has entered the center of New Mexico. You have no idea all the limitations that go on here. Part of wanting to get out of here is to be able to film more than just inside my 2 little places. And it's really difficult. And that leads me into, what I wanted to talk about today, because one of the things that I appreciated about all your feedback was really to see how many different ways people are hearing and getting something or not getting something from what I am or am not doing here, trying to do. And that's been a real struggle for me, is to figure out what I want my style to be here. I've experimented more than anybody could ever hope to. And also, I think I've really done that with the whole nomadic travel thing, because that's the other issue that I find that comes up. Whereas people say, well, you're not a nomad because you're not moving. And, I've talked about that before, but what I want to bring it up now is how important it is to get off the specific definition and to experience and find your way. And when life is a hardcore business plan, you're right, you're better off to launch with something super specific and head out from there. But life as life, well, part of what shapes you is all the experiences that you have. And one of the reasons I love this idea of the nomadic life is that it allows me to have so many more experiences. And that's how I learn, that's how I grow, that's how I keep from getting bored, and that's how I think I become a better person, is the more people I know and experience, the more shoes that I have a moment to walk into, the more I learn about who I am and what kind of world I want to live in. And at a very simple level, I grew up in urban, suburban environments, and coming out here was my first real kind of rural, small town experience. And living and seeing how farmers and ranchers work kind of changes your perspective a little bit. And so I am a firm believer in not worrying about the label and finding as many types of experiences, and that's what will shape you in terms of what is best for you. And I wanted to bring that up because I also just finished watching a video. I really like Survival Lilly. She's very practical, and she was talking about how she's getting hammered for all her wrong uses of survival. And that's one of those words that I have taken to mean a lot of different things, instead of just some kind of definitive tiny little box description. So I thought, I'm going to talk about that same idea today in perspective to not just survival, but also, who we are as nomad or living on the road or not wanting to set down permanent roots, which is the same journey, I'm having here on YouTube. Where do I want to go? How do I want to fit in? Someday I'm going to do a video on limitations, because I know some of you have talked about what that you like that I talk about, the good and the bad. Oh my God, is limitations a big one? And that I have enjoyed as a challenge, but we'll get into that another day. So one of the best ways to find yourself out in this world is to go out in this world. And yeah, I spend a lot of time in my head, and I think someone once commented that I'm a hermit. What could I know about the rest of the world? I spent 20 plus years working with people one-on-one in their homes in crisis. I know a lot about people, and that is something that I didn't enjoy at the time, all of it, but I value tremendously who that's allowed me to become in the process. And so I want to say, have a lot of experiences. Don't worry about if they're right or wrong. Don't worry about making the wrong choices. Someone once told me, if you could go back and recreate your life, would you be willing to take a risk and go out, on a limb? And I thought, I would. And the thing that drives me, that keeps me from going back and recreating that old life, is I didn't like it. I really like this one. And it's hard. I'm not going to tell you it's not hard. But I just wanted to throw that out at you to something to think about, is that don't worry about which version you're doing. Just like you're telling me to not worry about what I'm doing here on YouTube. It's easier, for keyword searches to find your way through YouTube. In the same way, it's easier to travel if you kind of have a general sense of which direction. I'm going to be honest with you, totally unrelated sidebar. Being out on these prairies and stuff, I'm thinking about the pioneers who just headed out with no town, no idea where, if there was going to be water, if there was going to be food. We are so wimpy with our cell phones and our AAA and our internet. We have no real adventure in us at all. So I say go out and have tons of experiences, because if our ancestors could do it out here on the pioneering trail, certainly you can. So to those of you who have contributed to my journey, I want to say thank you very much. It has helped immensely. It helps guide me in ways that I can't observe myself, and I appreciate your observations. And in the same way, I want to encourage you to have your own adventures, or say congratulations for the adventures you are having, because as Helen Keller said, life is a great adventure, life is a daring adventure, or it's nothing at all. I say be bold or go home, but that's just me. So we're going to wind it down here at my version of adventure, travel, life, nomad, survival road. And take one more deep breath through it, as I hope you will rise with the sun in your eyes, love in your heart, feet firmly on the ground, as together we walk on survival road, one step at a time. Live free, die wild, my friend, and we'll see you next time.